Hi, my name's Kristen Boddy and I'm an IELTS teacher at Viva College in Brisbane. Today we're continuing our series in Spotlight on IELTS, talking about the IELTS Academic Writing Task 1. So far in this series we've looked at line graphs, but today I want to introduce to you maps. A lot of students get really afraid when they look at this kind of information because they have no idea how to begin describing it. So today I'm just going to give you a few simple tips to get you started, and in our next episodes I'll give you some more detailed information. So to begin with, the first thing that you need to do is look at both maps and think, how can I categorize the changes that have taken place? What do I mean by categorize? Basically, I mean organize. So the first way that you can organize information is by counting it. So when you have two maps, usually they're going to show you changes over time. So as you can see here, this first map represents an island in 1990. The second map represents the same island but in 2015. So automatically you know you need to describe the changes that have taken place over that period of time, and you need to count how many changes there were. So let's have a look systematically at the map. When you look at a map, my suggestion is that you start in the top corner and you work your way down and across. So let's start up here. To begin with, in 1990, this top corner is empty. But in 2015, this top corner has huts, which represent a village. So that's our first change. If we work our way down, in 1990, there are some palm trees. And in 2015, there are also some palm trees. So that's our first similarity. If we begin to work our way across, in 1990, there's a small shop. And in 2015, we can clearly see that the shop still exists, but it's much bigger. As we work our way down, in 1990, we can see that there is a road. And in 2015, the same road exists. So far, we have a change, a similarity, a change, and a similarity. Two changes, two similarities. Let's continue. If we start over here, we can see that the ocean is empty. We just have clear water. But in 2015, as we begin to work our way down, we can see a boat, and we can see a pier. So clearly, this pier has been constructed in order to dock the boats. So this is an additional change. So in order to categorize this information, we can say that over this period of time, there have been 3 significant changes, but there are 2 similarities. And this can be our overall statement that we would include in paragraph 1. Now we need to begin to describe these changes effectively. In order to describe these changes, we're going to need to describe where the changes take place in the maps. And this is where we need to talk about position. So it's important that you know the words that you can use to describe position effectively. One of the most common ways to describe position in maps is north, south, east, and west. So when you're describing, for example, the changes here, that we have a little village that has been built, you can say in the top or north west corner of the map. The north west corner of the map. When we're describing the fact that a pier has been built, you can say the pier has been constructed in the southeast corner of the map. When you talk about position, you can also use words like opposite, behind, in front of, above, below, beside, All of these words are going to be relevant, but some of them might not be appropriate depending on the type of map that you're looking at. So it's a good idea to learn a variety of position words so that you're able to describe any kind of situation that comes up. Finally, it's important that you describe the changes using the correct verbs. So when we talk about this change, for example, we have a village here. One verb that we can use is build. So in 2015, we can see that a village was built. Or a synonym for build is construct. So we can say a village was constructed. If we're describing the change in the shop here, we know that the shop already existed, so we can't really use the verb build or construct. We need to use a verb that describes the change. So, in this case, we could say extended. The shop was extended in 2015. Or expand. The shop was expanded. If we're talking about the pier, we could also use construct, build, a pier was introduced, a pier was put in place for the use of sailors and their boats. And when we're talking about similarities, we can say these features remain the same, these features have not changed, the palm trees still exist in 2015, the road has not been moved, has not been developed, has not been demolished. So make sure that you learn a variety of verbs that you can use to describe the changes in construction, in extension, adding, removing, demolishing, extending. All of those verbs are going to help you when you're describing changes that have taken place. All right, let's quickly summarize what we've talked about today. The first important thing is that you look at both maps and that you're able to categorize the changes that have taken place. By categorization, we simply mean counting the changes and the similarities so that you can summarize them effectively. Secondly, it's important that you know some keywords that you can use to describe the position of things on the maps. North, south, east, west, in front of, behind, beside, in between. All these kind of words will help you effectively describe where things exist on the maps. And finally, it's important that you learn verbs that you can use to describe how things have been changed, built, improved, renovated, or demolished. My name's Kristen Boddy. I'm an IELTS teacher at Viva College in Brisbane. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any questions or comments that you'd like to make, please leave them in the comments section below, and I hope that you can join us next time where we'll continue to talk about how you can describe maps and other visual kinds of information in the IELTS Writing Task 1. Have a nice day. Bye.